Speak Easy Podcast, Episode 2. Working out the tweets, the kinks, all that good stuff. Got my boy Tony to my left. Got Josh to my right. We're back at you with some more good stories. Some more bar babble. Josh's favorite word.
Bar babble.
Bar babble.
Not a word.
It is a word, motherfucker.
Not happening.
It is. He doesn't like bar babble. Let us know what you think about the term bar babble. I just, I think it's funny. It sounds cool. It rolls off the tongue playfully. Bar babble. Bar babble. I wanted to know you guys' opinions of what you think about the word bar babble.
I think of a babbling brook.
Who the fuck is Brooke?
No, like a brook.
Who's Brooke?
No, you know what a brook is?
I don't know what a brook is.
A babbling brook?
I don't know that. Why you keep saying it? Like the
like-
more time you say it, I'm still not going to know.
It's not going to help if I
It's
say
not going to help. Do you know what a babbling brook is?
Writing poetry right now.
Oh, cool.
Sorry.
Yeah,
We
do that.
interrupted Tony during his poetry writing session.
A babbling brook.
A babbling brook. Do you know what
Yeah.
that is?
Yeah.
What is it?
He writes
It's
what
when
he
water
wants
rushes over the rock so quickly that it creates minor bubbles. That's babbling.
What?
to. Well put, Wikipedia.
Damn, did you Google this shit?
With what?
I don't know, man.
Googled it with his brain.
Yeah, pretty much. Hope you guys are doing good. We're now into February. You know, it's
Is that how you pronounce February?
February. I leave that R out.
February.
That does not exist for me. February.
February.
You say it the same way.
Yeah, that's how you say it, right?
No,
I'm not
obviously.
here to say the right way. I don't know.
No, go ahead.
I'm just
So you were
curious.
just asking.
Smart guy.
How do you say it?
I try not to say it.
Why? Because it's a hard word.
It's the second month, you know?
February. February. That's how you're supposed to say it. That's just hard as fuck. It's like banana. No? Okay.
I call it anti-month love.
Anti-month love.
Wow.
Black History Month, which is also like the month for white people. Like, what about us month?
Every month is Black History Month.
Watch out. Watch out. Well, thank you guys for joining us for episode 2. We got some good stories. We want to talk about fights this episode. Bar fights, bar battles. Not bar babbles, but bar battles.
Now that I can get behind.
Yeah. See, because Josh is a bouncer. And I think it's very interesting. This topic kind of like, I like it a lot because he's a fucking teddy bear. To me, that's what he is. I think to most people that are close to him and their friends, they can't imagine that, one, he's a bouncer. Well, actually, we could imagine that part. But the second part, that you fucking drag people out. You know, last episode, you guys heard he was, picking up drunk ass, fat bitches out the bathroom and dragging them out, taking them outside. And now this is the other aspect of bouncing is you got to kick out douchebags. You got to get a hold of these Riley coyotes at the bar and get them the fuck out. And that's can turn into some confrontations. I've been drunk myself. I'm not much of a fighter, but I've been in a fight or two myself. Have you ever been in a fight?
Yeah.
Yeah? I mean, the one that you were awake for?
That was not a fight. That was an attack.
That was an attack in his sleep,
And
which
there's
is
a
not
teaser
fair.
for a future episode.
That's a future episode coming up for you guys. I want you to share. Personally, I want to know what goes up in this dome piece and in your physiology when you feel like a confrontation is about to go down, and what do you got to do with your mindset to get ready for that confrontation?
Sometimes you're just adrenaline takes over. I mean, obviously it's my job, so I'm looking for that. So when you see like a couple of people, you can always see signs like maybe a couple of guys arguing, or you can usually see it and stop it before it happens. But definitely like you're like, oh shit, like okay, this is about to go down, this is about to happen. Or if a fight does happen, you just gotta like try to break it up. And unfortunately, sometimes it comes at you.
But what happens to you internally when that's about to go down? I want to know what happens to you because, again, I'm coming from the mindset that I know this guy for almost a decade and I've never seen him even get upset at somebody. Now, I've seen him puff up. I've seen him puff up to have my back, actually, to get ready. But I've never seen you in an altercation or even what your demeanor is like when you're about to fight. I want to know what happens inside you to transform into the Hulk. Because you're like a sweet little teddy bear or a vanilla gorilla.
Yeah, vanilla gorilla.
Vanilla gorilla. But what happens to you internally so that beast comes out and you grab these motherfuckers by the neck and drag them out? Or fucking straight out brawl. I don't know what you do.
I've been told like before that people do, people look at me like, oh my god, like you're so scary looking. I'm so into him. I'm like, and it really surprises me because I don't see myself
They've said you're scary looking?
as that. Yeah, like, or like, you know, little kids usually. But
Okay.
that's a different story.
Makes a lot more sense.
You know, I can't go trick-or-treating anymore. Stupid.
Didn't you go as Kevin Spacey last year?
Oh, wow. Couldn't pull that off.
I was waiting for his comeback. He had
I got
none.
nothing. I got nothing. Just called me out.
He loves 14-year-olds.
No.
Totally kidding. Totally kidding. Just during trick or treating. So tell me, man, I want to know what goes through your fucking mind. I want to know what you get into mentally to get into it.
I'm
Or does it
really,
happen
like-
so fast and you don't
I mean,
even have time?
sometimes you don't even remember because, I mean, your adrenaline takes over, like, heart is, like, pumping. Especially when I see it happen, or especially when sometimes it happens so fast, like, you don't even remember. Like, a while ago, I had to kick this guy out, and he was, like, walking around the bar, had, like, this dog, and we usually don't even let dogs in. He was, like, being an asshole. He was super drunk, walking around to people in the back of the bar. He was just, like, you know, like, fuck you, and, like, you guys are gay. And I'm like, what is this guy's problem? So I walk over to him, I, like, follow him, and I just kind of, like, grab him by the arm. I'm like, hey, what's your problem? And he looks at me, and he goes, like, and this is, you know, this is what alcohol does to people. It goes, like, fuck you. And I'm like, oh, what? No, like, you want to get fucked? Like, and I like to say, like, random shit to people, because, like, you know, like, yeah, fuck you. Like, no, like, I think it's fun to go up to another man, and this is the only time I think it's funny. Like, I will go to a man, and he
shit.
starts acting dumb. I'll be like, yo, I will man rape you right in front of your chick.
Oh, I might not get into it with you.
Yeah, because no one wants to be like, it's one thing you get, like, knocked out, but it's like, wow, like, if he knocks me out, then he's going to diddle me. Like, I'll do it, too.
You're teaching me all sorts of words today. Now, diddle.
Yeah.
Diddle, that sounds fun, though, diddle.
You've never
Yeah.
diddled?
I've never diddled.
Never diddled?
Maybe I have. I don't know.
I'm sure you've diddled.
Diddle? Is that diddled?
Diddled to
Oh,
diddle.
I've definitely diddled then.
Yeah.
I diddle-daddled.
Diddled a little.
Believe it or not, someone has actually punched me in the face before. This happens.
And what happened to you then? What was your reaction?
I just see red. I don't know. I think everyone has that side in them, like where you just like lose control.
Well, I think you discover it. I think you either have it or you don't. You know, you have your fight or flight mentality, and one of those kicks in. Are you a fighter or a flighter?
I do my best to talk myself out of situations.
He's a negotiator.
Are you a negotiator like him, where you threaten with rape?
No, actually, I may put myself in a worse position than originally intended because I outsmart them.
You're a sarcastic
Yeah.
motherfucker. That's why.
Yeah. But
So the situation's already tense, and you just make it tenser.
Yeah, it gives me time though because they won't realize I insulted them until like 5 minutes later.
Yeah, he distracts
You
them with
son of
like
a
clever
bitch.
words.
Yeah. Can we hold on, I just want to go over this real quick. He had a dog with him.
Oh
Yeah, he
yeah.
had like a little puppy with him.
So he's carrying around a dog.
Yeah,
calling
going
everyone
around like cursing at people, just being weird.
just rant just
How big was
Yeah.
the dog?
It was like a little lap dog. Like
And
a
he's
tiny
walking
little-
around calling people gay.
Yeah, and he was like,
Makes sense.
"Yo, you guys are motherfuckers," and it's like, "What's your problem?"
You little dog
maybe
fucker.
maybe he's a disgruntled employee or something. I don't know that. He
That's
have been on some
alcohol,
drugs.
man. That's just alcohol for you. That's it makes you do stupid shit.
So when a man like this walks up to you, or you know when you approach him and tell him to leave the facilities and he decides not to, like, is your immediate reaction to grab him by the collar and throw him out, or what are you trying to do at that point?
Good question.
I'm really just, I really want to just talk. Be like, look, like, let's go outside, talk about it.
Take you and your bitch out?
Yeah,
You know?
like just get out of here. And if they don't, then obviously you have to put your hands on them if they're not going to like walk out by themselves.
Yeah.
What's the worst fight you got into?
Probably one of the worst ones were these couple of like douchebags, and they were just like acting like assholes in the bar. And we kicked them out, and I was like standing right by the door, so they couldn't come back in. And then one of the guys like sucker punches me, and I was like, oh, okay, it's like that. And then me and two of the guys I work with, shout out to Jake and White Josh.
White Josh.
Well, he's
Is there any other kind of Josh?
Well, no, he's black. It's actually my friend Josh. He's black, but we call him White Josh and me Black Josh, so no one gets confused.
Oh,
That makes
good.
sense.
That makes sense.
I
So
like
I'm
it.
Black Josh,
Yeah.
he's White Josh.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
When we're together. So, like, we're all out in the street. Like, we were literally go from the door of the bar to we're in the middle of the street, like in Newport. And we're like, there's two of them, three of us, we're like swinging. One of the guy is going after Josh, and Jake has the other guy. So I'm like, who do I choose here? I'm like, go after this guy. Josh has him like a headlock, so I just like start pounding him like from behind, like in the ribs, in the
Just
back.
how you like it, huh?
Yeah.
Just how you like it.
Just from behind.
So he felt it in the ribs.
He felt it in the ribs.
He must be black.
He was peeing blood for sure.
You're definitely the Black Josh.
Yeah.
I don't like to fight, but I do. Because, and I think it's just the record. You know, I just have that confidence from what I've been to. Now, my best friend's dad used to make us box. So it came kind of naturally to be comfortable in that situation, but I never get comfortable. I get nervous, I get anxiety, and I definitely try to talk my way out of it. Like I literally be like, I don't want to fight, man. Like I really don't want to fight. I would rather not fight. And then all of a sudden the switch goes off and I'm fighting and I enjoy it. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm so like, I don't like confrontation at all. Like you wouldn't think it, but like, and sometimes when it starts to happen, I'm like, okay, like here we go, like fuck, like this is what's gonna happen. But I'm like, this is what I have to do. It's my job.
Now, I'm at that age now though where, you know, we were talking about this earlier, like fighting has its consequences. I don't have Obamacare. I don't have insurance. I'm an independent contractor. And that changes my mindset now. Now, the only reason I would still want to fight is because I haven't gotten into a fight since I lost 140 pounds that I used to have. And so I just want to test my skills out as a skinny guy. But maybe I don't. But I kind of do. So if it happens, it happens. But I still have that I really don't want. Like I was running the other day, my left knee hurts. I'm getting scared. So imagine a fight. I don't know what's going to happen.
If anyone wants to fight Walter, just send us a message on Instagram or
we'll set it up.
Yeah.
I'll get some
Fuck
some
you
views
guys.
for that.
No, you know there is a
Oh, okay. We got a volunteer in the crowd.
Fiery.
right.
Fuck that.
We
We got to be in the same weight class. What the fuck? We got a line now.
All
of
right.
people
Anyone
wanting to
else?
fight.
Anyone else?
I got 2 competitions coming up soon. We're gonna have a fucking a fight right here at Basement
I
74.
just want to wrestle Mario. Like I got oil. I brought oil.
Look at that.
That's cool.
Did you just say oleo?
Oil.
You wanted to say oil, but you said oleo.
What does that mean?
I don't know. It was probably a chant for wrestling with Mario. I don't
Probably
know.
a black term that we don't
It's
know.
probably a Black Josh term.
Yeah.
That would make sense.
Well, you know, the idea behind us wanting to fight, I think it's like this innate nature where we are at a point where we're like, I bet I could beat his ass. You know, I bet I could take him. I mean, realistically, you don't know unless you actually get into the fight. But there's those moments where you're like, man, I would really punch him. And if you've never had this moment, you're the guy that people want to punch.
Probably.
So with that comes this idea of when it actually comes to that point, there's this, I mean, it goes into, you know, just natural progression of human nature. The whole idea of fight or flight, like you mentioned earlier.
That caveman
Like-
DNA, man.
Like when you get into it and, you know, you see people bumping their chest. And I don't know, I never understood this. My uncle's former gang members and all that, you know. So I remember watching them get ready to fight. And all it was a prolonged removal of clothing.
Yeah, it was a
never
striptease.
understood-
I never understood why someone takes their shirt off. to
That's
fight.
just, you don't want to dirty
Like,
it,
dude,
man.
like you're gonna end up on the ground most likely. So
Look.
like you're gonna get your back.
I know where they're
scratched,
coming
and I don't
from
get that.
because no matter what goes down, you know how long it took them to get those shirts white and pressed and ironed. The last thing they want to do is fuck that shit up.
I'm just saying, if I'm going to fight and someone takes their shirt off, I'm going to punch them while the shirt is being removed.
Yeah.
That's
Why would you wait? Yeah, as soon as it's
true.
over their head.
That's totally true.
I remember this was not in a bar, but my friend, he called me one day and he's like, look, we're going to go to the park, Sims Park, okay? And we're going to, they're getting ready, bro.
By the way, you guys can't see this shit, but we got them. We got Mario and Dan in the background lifting weights, getting ready for our fight.
Dan is horrible form.
I'm gonna need
You're
at
gonna
least
hurt your
60
back.
days.
Well, I like how he's doing curls with fucking dip in his hand.
Fat ass.
He's
got
doing curls
fucking.
with
He's
French
got
onion
some
dip in his
French onion
opposite
Lay's
hand.
dip
Yeah.
in one hand, and he got a 35-pounder in the other hand.
He's just
balances
worried.
out.
He's just gonna punch you. That's all.
Now I
he's
know how to
worried
win the
Yeah.
fucking fight. I'm gonna bring chips and dip.
Yeah.
Distract this motherfucker and pop.
Cracked him with some
Ow.
Doritos over there. He's looking at the Doritos and you just sock him in the ear.
We'll make it rain chips for this fat ass.
about. He's gonna ruffle your feathers. So what happened?
I saw that. I saw that.
So-
I almost missed it.
I get a door knock. I open it up. My friend's like, "Hey, we got to go to Sims Park," and I'm like, "Okay, well, the only reason you go to Sims Park is for drugs or basketball." I wasn't doing drugs at the time, and I did
Definitely
not
don't play basketball.
Yeah, exactly. So, anyways, long story short, we went there. And we went to the basketball courts, and my friend got out of the car, removed his clothing, and fought this one guy. They just started fighting. Now, a small circle crowded around them, and the mentality was, it's just them two fighting, better just let it happen, let them do what they got to do. And they were scuffling. Now, look, you'll learn more and more that I'm a wrestling fan. I've been a wrestling fan since 4. And I kept thinking to myself, like, why doesn't he just rock bottom his ass? Like,
all the fucking fake wrestling moves.
Yeah, I don't think those would translate.
Why
to
doesn't
real
he
life.
slap his chest?
just Stone Cold stun him and he'll be fine. What are you doing? Chop him. Why are you doing that?
Chop him.
No, but what I noticed was there was this one guy who was watching the fight, and him and I locked eyes, and it was that one guy that basically was about to jump in. Right?
I always get that guy.
And there was that conversation that we had without words where it's like, you know, if you jump in, I have to do something, right? And he just like looked at me, and I'm assuming he was saying like, yeah, but I could probably beat your ass. So my response to him non-verbally was like, probably. But the whole entire point of you jumping in is to beat up my friend, and I'm not going to let you do that. Thankfully, nothing happened. My friend ended up, they stopped, they dispersed. It was an interesting brawl, to say the least. I won't point out a winner or a loser.
I'm sorry.
No, well, the whole reason why I bring that up is that idea of fight or flight. There was a direct comparison right there. These two, there was no hesitation. He got out of his car, rushed them, and they started fighting. Whereas me and this other guy were like, I'm not going to do this, for whatever reason. And
right.
I think that when you're finally faced with that decision, do I get in a fight or do I try to talk my way out of it? I mean, as a bouncer, you're kind of paid to do it. So I think there's some semblance of sheer enjoyment that I would have if I had your job.
I mean, there's a great thrill, like when you like choke someone out and just look at their body, just like limp, and you're like,
see, this blows my mind.
Yeah,
like, we've been friends forever. I've never heard you say something like that.
like I can choke someone out in about 7 seconds.
Nice. What was her name?
What was her name?
Okay. Don't even know. Okay.
It's not important.
But yeah, the idea of getting paid, essentially you're not getting paid to fight. You're getting paid to prevent fighting.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's but the contradiction, or not, the comparison of basically by almost any means necessary not trying to fight. Like one of the most vivid fights that I remember that was in a bar. It was actually international. Barely. We were in Rosarito. A group of friends, the same friends that I talk about all the time, Revolution.
Right.
I think we were only 19, but that didn't matter in Mexico. We were
You're
having
a grown up out there.
Yeah, we were having an amazing time. We were going from Papa's in Beer and what was it, Froggies? Is that what's next to it?
Yeah, Senior Frog.
Senior Frog. So we were going back and forth because one had unlimited drinks for a particular price, and then one had buy one get one free, but those were stronger. So we were just going back and forth. At one point, I walked.
Literally bar hopping.
Yeah, I walked past the restroom, and my friend Josh, I just saw him from afar. His face was covered in blood, like it was dripping, like he looked like Carrie. Okay, and I'm like, oh, that's not good, right? Like shit. So I start pushing through a crowd, and while I'm pushing through, I see him grab the door of a bathroom cabinet, snap it off its hinges, and just start swinging. And this bathroom is super small, and like there's not a lot of room, but there are like 3 dudes in there getting ready to beat his ass. So we finally rushed through, my friend Mike and I, and Mike goes in there, and Mike was just, at this time, I mean, he's a little more reserved now, but at this time, he was just a crazy white guy, who actually was pretty fit. He was, like, holding all 3 of them back, and I don't know how. I'm trying to usher Josh out. We all finally disperse, and we're trying to leave before the cops come, because, we're American. And we walk past a thing of bleachers, and our friend, who is also Josh's cousin Manny, was sitting down next to a female getting a phone number. He got the number. They're now married. No, I'm kidding. He's got a completely different wife who has a master's degree and everything. She's awesome. Yeah, it was just...
He did better.
Yeah, again, it was that idea where Josh was like, he was cornered, and he had this, what do you do? Do you curl up in a ball and take it? Because I've seen people do that. I've seen people like,
yeah,
no,
me too.
I'm fuck it, I lost. Versus Josh, who, the same guy who got in a fight at the park, by the way, was swinging a cupboard door. Like, that's something that is, like, resourceful from a human nature. Like, I gotta do something, Like, right. So that's that extreme of, like, I'm gonna fight, and I'm gonna do whatever I can to survive this shit, because, yeah.
I want to address something. I think gender doesn't even fucking matter with this topic, because the toughest example I've ever seen was when I got jumped around like 2002. I was at Cal State Fullerton. We're at University Village, and I was hanging out with my boy Jason, who we talked about the last episode, and my friend Heather. And we're just bored as hell. And we heard that there's a party on the other side of the complex. And we walk over there and it's fucking dead. There's nothing going on. And we're like, are they sure there's a party over here? You know, we hear some noise on the second floor. So we walk up to the second floor. And all of a sudden this door opens up and this girl comes running out crying. And she's running down the hall. And actually, it's not even a hall. It's like it's a balcony setup. All the units are facing out. Each floor has balconies. And in this particular unit, it's right in the middle, so it has a large-ass balcony. And there's a little hallway-style balcony. She runs out, and this dude comes out, and he's like, that's right, oh, you better get the fuck out of here. Let me tell you something. I was raised by a single mom, and I'm old school. The fights I've gone into are usually defending a female's honor somehow, some way, and that shit bugged me. And I didn't, like, stand up like, hey, motherfucker, what are you doing? I was just like, dude, for real? Like, she's walking away scared as shit, and you're a grown-ass man, and you're just screaming at her like, what's the problem, dude? Like, literally, that's my tone. And I didn't know that they were, but this was a coke party, which changes everything. You know, when you have alcohol, it's one thing. You had cocaine, now they're fucking Incredible Hulks, all of them. Now, he comes out, and then his brother comes out. It's cool. It's me and Jason, too. I'm like, fuck it. They want to fight. I'm like, fuck it, let's do it. Well, Jason lasted a second. Pop! Got knocked out. And then all of a sudden, 15, 16 people come running out. And they come at me. And there's this main guy, the super coked out guy, comes right at me. I grab him by the hair. I stick him under my armpit. And I get backed into the corner. And I'm just like, I'm going to get fucked up, but I'm going to fuck this motherfucker up. So I just grab his head. And I'll just close my eyes. And I'm feeling all the hits on my back. And all of a sudden, no one's hitting me anymore. And I still got this guy and I'm still punching, but no one's hitting me. So I look up. And my friend Heather's just grabbing the rail and kicking these motherfuckers off of me. She kicked off 15 fools off of me. Like, that is a fighter. That is not a pussy. And it is a female. Props, Heather. I appreciate you. And the next day got worse because the Raiders lost the Super Bowl. It was that weekend when we lost to the Buccaneers. And it really hurt my feelings. But I thought it was a great example where it doesn't matter. You know, like, you either got that instinct or you don't. And it's a reflection of who raised her, because her mom fucking claws out, dude. Her mom, Mama Margaret, love you too. You can't fuck with her kids.
Girls are crazy.
Girls are crazy, man.
Absolutely.
And they will have your back. And as a man, I get scared. Like, you ever dated a girl that's super ballsy and is down to, like, she's picking fights with dudes? I never want to date one of those hoes. Like, fuck that. I'm going to fight for you because you just think I have your back? I'm like, you started that fight. Handle it. I'm like, I'm over it. I don't have that in me, but fuck, that's what I want to say. I just want to grab her and get the fuck out of there.
That was always a secret worry of mine with Gabby.
Yeah?
Yeah, and it happened. It wasn't her fault. It was in a bar in Hollywood, and my friend Jose, who was, I mean, this guy, like, I remember one day we were at his house, and he, like, pulled a gun out on one of our friends just to show him that he had a gun. He was like...
Was it loaded?
I don't know. We ended up...
I guess it doesn't matter.
Yeah, but we went to a bar, and it was, like, Persian heavy. Okay, so everyone had more chest hair than I did, which that alone was upsetting. Jose pissed one of them off, and he walks up to me. He's like, "Hey, we gotta go. We gotta meet in the alley." And I'm like, "This isn't a fucking music video. That's weird, right?" So,
like, are we gonna breakdance battle?
Was this Grease? Was this a shooting? Were you filming Grease?
yeah, I think it was more like the West Side Story or something.
Story?
You know?
Oh, I grew up, we
Yeah.
breakdance battle. I'm
Yeah.
like, let me go get my cardboard, bro.
I would have been down with that. No, so Gabby's with me. I think one other friend and Jose, and we all walk outside. And I swear it was like they were lined up and we were lined up. And the entire time
It was a breakdance
I'm
battle.
too drunk for this bullshit. And Jose's like, "Yeah, we're gonna fuck you up." And they do that thing where everyone does. They just start talking shit, but no
Right.
actual action happens. And I tell Jose,
What's
I'm like,
up, dude? What's
yeah.
up, dude?
I'm like,
What's up?
bro, I'm not fighting. Like, I hope you know. I just bought this shirt. It's Van Heusen.
Van Heusen?
Like, it's not.
Oh, yeah.
Some Ross shit.
Did you get it at Kohl's?
Like, these creases I didn't make. It was in the bag, folded this way. So, like,
Yeah.
I'm not getting
I
this
want
shit dirty.
everybody to know the shit's new.
Right, brand
I'm wearing
new.
my
I think
nice
there was still a
shoes.
fucking needle in it. Like, I'm not doing this.
I'm wearing my Jordans. No way.
It still has a needle.
Right, so we're...
I'm pretty sure I feel it. I don't know where it's at, but If I get a fight, I'll get
we're
poked.
like lined up, and we're like, it's getting to that point, that inevitable point where I'm like, well, Gabby, I hope you have your shoes off because we're running. And then the guy calls Gabby a fucking slut. Ugh. And that just similar to you, that was like, oh, come on, man. So I'm like, well, now I have to beat his ass, right? Like, that's what I'm supposed to do. My mom would be upset with me if I didn't.
Pretty much.
Too fucking late. Gabby's already on her way over there. Like,
shit.
That girl is a trooper to this day. Like we'll probably have to get her on the show to talk about this story.
Gabby, come on.
But damn, I was like, fuck. Good luck, bro. Yeah, she was not one to mess with. And
well, with that said, I appreciate your chivalry. Would you have gotten in, by the way?
I would have, yeah.
All right, I hope so, because otherwise we can't be friends.
He would have got beat up for her, is what he's saying.
Yeah, pretty much. It don't matter. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Get beat up, you get up. It's cool. It's cool. But we're going to stop for a real quick commercial break. We'll be right back with the Speakeasy Podcast, episode 2. All right, everybody, welcome back. Speakeasy Podcast, episode 2. Drunk facts, adult responsibilities. That's the next session we're going into. Once again, guys, you guys saw the commercial. Support your local artists, Dan Photo Studios, Mario Lopez Art. Appreciate the fuck out of them. They're helping us out with this setup. Mad love to both of them. I'll be fighting them real soon, so stay tuned.
You know,
I'm going to be eating my ranch dipping too.
I wish there was like this big sample that we could just show our listeners and viewers of some of Mario's work. Like, I wish there was something big that we had that we can just...
that'd be good, like a giant ass piece.
Yeah.
Maybe where they could see some of the skills. Maybe. I'm sure he could hook us up next time. Maybe we could put it behind us or something.
Yeah, we'll talk to him.
We'll talk to him about it.
Okay. So
it'd be cool.
Anyways,
what? You guys want to say something? What the fuck you guys want to say? Just say it. We'll break the fourth wall. There's 2 more people over here. You're good? All right, cool.
It's not even real. There's a bathroom behind it.
All right, I'm going to toss it over to Tony, because adult responsibility. He's the most adult out of all of us right now.
Which is saying something.
Which is saying a lot.
My girlfriend takes care of me, guys.
Hey, that's a good girl, man. That's a good girl.
Yeah. No, well, okay, so we're talking about all these fights, these stories that we have, the moments that we went through. You mentioned, too, from... your Cal State Fullerton days. Mm-hmm. I would like to say that as a Cal State Long Beach graduate, that's probably why you got in a fight.
Oh, you're a graduate. That's why. Ooh. I didn't graduate.
I got 2 degrees that allow me to say, fuck Cal State Fullerton.
Whoa.
But anyways.
All right.
They train. Wow. It's in the manual.
It's in the manual? You got to hate all the other Cal States?
No, just Fullerton.
Can I get some UC people just to shut us both up real quick?
They're busy.
They're busy.
With jobs.
Being real adults.
Hey,
not relying on women to fucking take care of them.
I did like a semester in Cerritos College, so what's up?
Thanks to me.
Shit.
Thanks to me, he did a semester in Cerritos College. I had to drag this motherfucker. Yeah, he's like, I don't want to go. I'm like, you said your dream was to be a comedian. There's a fucking class in there that says stand-up comedy. Let's get your ass in there. And now I'm a comedian.
How was that class?
The rest is history. I don't know, but I passed with flying colors.
What do you mean you don't know? You were in the fucking class.
It was a class. You just, like, literally, there was a teacher in every single class.
How was he, by the way? Because I've never seen that fucking teacher ever. I've never seen him at a show. I've never performed with him.
Well,
I've
he
been
moved back
performing.
to the East Coast.
Oh, did he?
I wish I could
Shocker.
remember his name. I'd give him a shout. He was really cool, though.
Was he?
He was an actor, too. He did, like, some acting and stuff. But basically, every single class, you just had to prepare 5 brand new minutes of material, and that was it.
That's actually pretty hard.
Yeah, it was.
That's a good test. Every class was it?
Yeah,
every class?
Every class, 5 brand new minutes.
Wow.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's actually really hard.
Yeah.
That's not easy.
That's even hard with sex. Like
yeah.
5
minutes.
every
That's
time.
hard.
That's not including cuddling.
Oh, shit.
Or crying for me.
Yeah.
Fuck my 2 degrees. That was
before, during, and after.
You're a crybaby, huh?
I like to cry.
Is it crying from like love or just like
depression? Well, what's cool is though,
or it's just crying from like
I cry tears, and I use those tears, recycle them to masturbate with.
Yeah,
I can't imagine that. I can't imagine those tears are still moist by the time they get out, down all the way down there.
I'm sure he cries
sometimes
a lot.
I'll like, I'll collect them and then
to lube up the fleshlight. Right?
Yeah.
By the way, Walter did not know what a fleshlight was until
I
recently.
did not know what a fleshlight was.
Yeah.
And I kept thinking he was saying flashlight the whole time. Like, Are you fucking like? What's wrong with you? You're a fucking poet.
Yeah,
you
like,
know
why
how
are
to
you
pronounce
fucking-
words.
Why are you fucking flashlight?
Is
Yeah,
this
what are you
some
fucking
archaic way of
flashlights?
pronouncing flashlight?
Yeah, I'm like, what's this fleshlight shit? I didn't know. You know, and I think I'm like pretty well versed in the things in life, and then you guys keep shocking me. Like I have no clue what these things are.
Flashlight, yeah.
No, this is
I'm
my
saving up
fleshlight.
money to get one.
They're not that expensive, man.
Asa Akira.
Discreet mailing. Yeah,
Discreet mailing,
Yeah.
another thing I haven't heard of.
really.
I don't order shit that I need secrecy for. Like, why don't you just be proud of your fleshlight? Just
Well,
order
now
that
I'll
shit.
order whatever the fuck I want, but I was living at home.
I wish there was like a fucking clear box option. Can I get a clear box for my fucking fleshlight?
You know my mom.
so everybody
she would-
sees it.
She would announce it to the world. Your fake vagina's here.
No way.
My mom probably would.
Probably. My mom totally would. I te llegó la cuca.
Speaking of adulthood, so the idea that I wanted to present was essentially that we talk about these stories. They're all, I mean, way back, in
Yeah.
terms of like time frame. And I think there's a particular reason for that. You mentioned it earlier, and the reason is that realistically, we're just getting too old for it.
Way too old.
Yeah, and I don't want to insult anyone that's older age-wise. It's essentially it's similar. I'll compare it to this. Last year I got a Six Flags pass, and I hadn't been to Six Flags for like 13 years prior to that. Okay, maybe even like closer to 15, 16. Okay,
I'm gonna say something real controversial right now. Fuck Disneyland.
so I was at Six Flags, and I get on Goliath. Right, that's the tried and true classic. Okay,
That's not a classic.
it's a
First
classic to
no.
me. You're like
It's not-
30 years older than me.
Yeah,
So
well, it's
maybe.
not a classic.
What
Right?
about Ninja?
Colossus is a classic. Batman is a classic.
Batman is a
You
classic.
know, that's a classic, man. So those are classics. Goliath is awesome, but it's not a classic.
Batman.
Batman's the shit, dude. Your legs go numb a little bit towards the end.
Yeah.
It's the best part.
The Riddler's Revenge when your nuts go numb.
Yeah, that one's good. Riddler's Revenge is not a classic either, but it's a great ride.
So, anyways, I'm on Goliath, and we're at the apex, right? We're right there, about to drop, and this is not a joke. I started worrying about rent. I started worrying about my car payment. I'm like, what if I fucking die right now? Like, man.
What?
Like, my rent's due in like 3 days. Like, if it's 30 days, it's like, all right, you know what, we can work with it. But, like, my rent's due. So, essentially, what I'm saying is, like, I worried about adult things at that moment of possible death, right? Now, that's an exaggeration, but I really did think about it. I'm like, man, when I was younger, I'd get on any fucking roller coaster. I don't give a shit. We're good. Now it's like, damn, I got shit to do tomorrow. Like, I can't hurt my back.
That's
I can't.
that's literally the stage in life I'm in right now. I want some money in my savings for the first time ever. And mind you, I've been in the real estate business for 14 years, pretty much just because it pays well and I can make whatever money I want to make. I wasn't like out there trying to buy a house or anything. But for the first time ever, I think I want a house. I think I might even want like a wife. Like this is weird ass thoughts and shit that I'm getting right now. And I'm like, well, what's going on?
That's what happens when you
What's
drink too
going
much.
on?
I just want to be able to like order guacamole on my burrito without having to like think twice. Be like guacamole.
The simple
Put
things.
shit on that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
give me
fuck
two
that.
sides of it.
guacamole.
Get that whole table over there.
It's
some
extra?
guacamole.
Yeah, you know what? Guacamole for everybody up in this bitch.
That's how I want to feel at Chipotle when you
I
ask
wanna
for
do that
extra
one day.
meat. You ask for extra meat and they just like literally give you 2 nuggets of meat. Like, can I get a little more meat on that? They're like, shake it off and I'm like, no, a whole fucking spoonful of more meat.
I know
I
how
don't care
much
what it
chicken
costs.
costs,
I don't
right?
care what it costs. Drop it on there.
Yeah.
I like the responsibility.
So to compare the roller coaster to essentially our bar fights is maybe a stretch, but I think the concept is the idea that we are no longer risk-free and just ready to take on whatever comes to us. We're not ready to get on that roller coaster called a bar fight anymore. My immediate response to a particular confrontation is, this guy's an idiot. I'm going to talk my way out of this, And I'm not going to kiss his ass. I'm not going to buy him a drink. I'm simply going to be like, bro, you really want to do this? Like, I got 8 people in here that know me. Nobody knows me. And, if you swing at me once, sure, you may hit me, but you're probably going to die,
Well, I still think something hasn't even been addressed yet is anybody the walk-awayer? Because I'm down to walk away now. Like, motherfucker, you're not even worth my time.
I've
Let's
walked
just
away
bounce out.
more than once.
No, I'm going to have my phone up with the reverse camera just in case they're coming at me. But I don't give a shit, man. Like, I'm walking out. It does not affect my manhood or my self-esteem. If I'm just like, fuck this, I'm out. Like, why do I need to fight? I
it's not
don't
worth
need
it.
to fight. It's not worth it. And the crazy part is that the consequences of it, they're just outrageous. Because it don't matter what the reality of it is. If the cops show up and someone says that you swang first, game over. Now you're the assaulter and you're the one that has to defend himself, even though that's all you were doing was defending yourself.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean,
I just, it's not even worth it.
you don't think about that when you're 16, 17, or even 20, 22. You're like, fuck that, fuck the cops. I'll fight them too.
You're
Now
invincible.
you're like, shit, man. Like, I don't even know if I got a warrant. Like, I might.
Dude,
It could be.
Now when I interact with cops, I'm like, my uncle's a cop. You know, like, you got to create family members that are in the business. You got to create friends. Like, you know El Jefe from UFC. That's my boy. He's a cop too. I love him.
Yeah, it's a different mentality. I mean, you know, we joke about Obamacare, but I don't have health insurance.
I don't
Josh,
either.
You don't
I'm
have
like,
health insurance, right?
I still owe like the
I don't even
emergency-
have Band-Aids in my cabinet. I was like, I need a band. I don't even have Band-Aids right now.
Jesus.
Not even-
Jeez,
I
that's
don't have
pretty
Band-Aids.
bad, bro. God.
Yeah.
Get you some SpongeBob ones.
By the way, are you wearing my fucking beanie?
No, it's mine.
It's not your beanie.
Yeah, it is mine.
Is it?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that was my beanie.
No,
They're
it's,
about to fight.
I brought it
What
here.
are you sure, motherfucker?
Yeah.
Let's look at this shit outside.
I'm positive.
Fuck that. Choke me out.
Walter, just walk
You
away.
might enjoy it though.
That's what I want. I've never been choked out. I am curious about it, to be honest
Cool.
with you.
Like,
Yeah.
Not sexually.
Oh, okay.
Not sexually.
That's
Like,
what we were
just
wondering.
like fighting style. I've never been choked out.
It's fun.
Would you choke me out?
Yeah,
Like right now?
absolutely.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
would?
come on.
Really?
Do it.
Do it?
You want to do this on air? You want to choke him out?
Really?
But who's going to catch me?
You just fall down.
Yeah.
And what happens? I want to know what
You'll-
happens.
You're gonna go black, and you won't know that you're knocked out, and you'll wake up in like 7 seconds.
Oh,
It's
shit.
gonna. You might shit yourself though.
For real?
It might happen.
Has that happened before?
Yeah. Well, I smelled something once, and I was like, this guy.
I think we're going to have, I think on the next episode,
You're gonna.
he's
poop
going to
first?
choke me out. I'm going to
Right.
shit first because I've been
Yeah.
wanting to shit this whole episode, so I'm
Right.
not going to do it right now. Next episode, I'm getting choked out by Josh.
Wow.
I've never had it happen.
When I was in 8th grade,
I've never done it. I've seen it done many times, and it looks safe. You know, like the guy just goes to sleep and is
Yeah.
like,
you
"What
just-
happened?
And you don't even know what happened. Yeah,
What happened?" Yeah.
Yeah,
So
you have
I'm
no
like,
idea.
I'm all right with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was
Have you ever been choked out?
I wasn't choked out per se. I was in 8th grade, and this little Asian kid that I thought was a friend of mine really was just an asshole. He's like, "Hey, I'm gonna make you black out," and I'm like, "I don't know what that means. Like, what is this? Some Asian voodoo?" He pressed on my chest.
I thought he was gonna
really
paint your
hard.
face.
For I don't know how long, maybe a few seconds, and I crashed.
Feel like Bruce Lee. did.
Pressed your chest.
Just pressed on my chest hard, and I the next thing you know,
Stopped your fucking heart.
I was slumped on the floor.
You might have a heart condition.
I mean, yeah,
I
maybe.
want to get that checked.
Is that a thing? Like, can you do that?
I don't know.
That's what he did.
How hard was he pressing?
Like this, he pressed hard. Next thing you know, I'm like, this isn't gonna. And then
he
I woke up.
was he
slumped.
Vietnamese?
He was. Yeah.
You know what I asked that? Because I know two dudes. One of them was my college roommate, and the other guy was my elementary best friend. They knew their fucking self-defense.
Yeah, it was weird.
Like, it was incredible. He even had one of those, Bruce Lee stick wood things, like in a 5-gallon cement thing, and he brought it to our dorm.
Wow.
He also stank a lot.
Yeah.
He stank a lot.
Like dried shrimp.
I don't know what it was, but it was definitely Vietnamese smell.
Yeah. Well.
Nothing against all the Vietnamese
Yeah, just
people,
for our
but
Vietnamese listeners.
that's how my we have some Vietnamese listeners. No offense,
No
but my
offense.
two Vietnamese experiences, they were both very stinky.
Yeah.
No, I'm not fucking around. That's just
Took 2 episodes to
The-
alienate an entire race.
it's a small race.
That was a huge part of our
It's
demographic.
a small
too.
race. Like,
I was hoping to get that demographic.
come on. You were hoping to get that Vietnamese
Yeah.
demographic. Sorry guys, I ruined it for you guys. Sorry,
Yeah,
Josh.
That's all right.
We could go for the Philippines next. We could just grab that love.
We'll take all of it, the continent.
The
of Asia out.
leftover Asian little islands, we'll take them over.
Cool. Yeah.
Conquistador style.
Well, yeah. Vietnamese jokes aside, I'm pretty sure. Yeah,
That wasn't
that
a
guy
joke. That's literally my experience with Vietnamese people.
That's
the
your-
2 Vietnamese people was really stinky.
That's your sample market.
That was my sample. How many more you need? I had one when I was 8 years old, and then I had one when I was
Vietnamese people in
18.
the world.
That's 10-year gap right there.
gotta get at least
It's
5
It's
to
the
make
same thing.
At least 5.
At least 5?
To get
Can I get 3 more Vietnamese friends if
Yeah.
that's a possibility now? Because I'd like to experiment.
I want everyone to take a second and look up Ashley Vu, VU, a friend from middle school who is amazingly beautiful and does not smell.
How do you know?
Because I've smelled her.
Where?
Not like
Ooh.
weird or
Ooh,
awkward.
tell us more about that.
It's been a while, but
Where
no.
did you smell her? What parts did you smell? What was the smell related to?
I think it was in 8th grade, and we went to her house to watch a movie.
Okay, that's fair. So
Yeah.
her house did not smell.
Not at all.
All right.
No.
I guess
Yeah.
my elementary school friend was just stinky.
Yeah.
It was Cudahy, which is like projects, so fuck it. Anything else we want to talk about tonight, fellas?
I mean, aside from fighting in bars and how we're urging you youngins not to do it. No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
Most of the
For
time,
real though, man, like if you're out there fucking brawling, don't do it. And if you do it, put some gloves on, man up, don't injure yourself. Like I get false confidence by, and I didn't address this earlier. I get false confidence because I take boxing classes. I do boxing on the side. I do all these things and I watch tons of boxing because of course if you watch it, you're gonna be you're gonna be great at it. Visual studying. But no, just don't do it, man. Don't do it. I wouldn't do it anymore, but I will protect whoever's around me. I will not fucking hesitate for a second to protect anybody I care about around me. And even if I don't even know you, I might do it. I just hate it, but that's who I am. That's my DNA. I've saved lives in the water. I've fought strangers for no fucking reason. That girl was probably doing cocaine too when I got my ass beat.
Yeah, I was.
Probably deserved. Who knows what she said? She probably said some random ass shit. Probably called his mom some random ass shit that she probably deserved to be chased out. I don't know.
Well, just don't do drugs, guys.
I always say, most of the time people go
I don't
looking for
agree with
trouble aren't that much trouble to begin with. That's a shout out to Dalton from Roadhouse.
Wow.
Can you
That's how,
repeat
I
that?
that's how I live my life, through Patrick Swayze movies.
It's a good way to live.
Most of the,
Roadhouse made him a bouncer.
Yeah, basically. I just wish I had beautiful feathery hair like that.
He's like he's working on his 6-pack,
I think you do.
but it's
Right.
Roadhouse for life.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You have beautiful locks.
I do.
Are you really gonna cut your hair?
I think I'm gonna let it go. I want to be like a fat Fabio.
Nice. You're already there.
I'm already there. I'm done.
I can't believe it's not butter.
Yeah.
Is that a goose? Speaking of Magic Mountain, we're gonna get hit in the face with a goose. I hope.
I don't do roller coasters
Why not?
because I'm afraid of heights.
I think because you didn't fit in them.
Wow. That's actually true too.
Wow.
I was scared. I didn't go to amusement parks to be honest
Yeah.
when I was fat.
Did you have to pay for an
It
extra
was
seat in an
embarrassing, man.
airplane?
No, I hardly travel. First of all, I want to do more of that. That's another adult mindset. But yeah, I was actually kind of worried about that too, to be honest. Do you worry about that?
Yeah, that's why I will probably never travel till I won't fly on a plane for a while till I lose a bunch of weight for sure.
But you could still buy 2 seats.
Yeah, or I'll just buy all 3 and just lay down and just.
You
have
still
fun.
can't lay down. You're still 6'4" or 6'7". What is it?
Yeah,
7 or 4?
7.
7. Ladies, 6'7".
Every inch counts. Trust
Loves
me.
to
Every
cuddle,
inch.
Cries. Sensitive man, willing to fight for you.
He's actually a beautiful human being, ladies.
Got a
On
winner,
the
man.
inside.
Not on the inside. On the outside.
I'm not beautiful on the inside?
No.
You're right, it's probably just grease and gravy on the inside.
Mm-hmm. It
That's
is.
true.
I think we're losing this right now. I think we're totally losing this. All right, guys. Thank you guys for joining us for Speakeasy episode 2. I'm Walter, Tony, Josh. We'll see you guys for episode 3. I'm going to get choked out. So you better come back. Episode 3. I'm getting choked
That's
out.
happening.
Fuck. Kind of worried. Fuck
Yeah.
it. YOLO. Play us out, DJ.